Okay, so Eat Wild's the commercial face of how we choose to live our life. Harvesting wild game ensures that we've constantly got control over what we're eating and what's coming in and out.
It's a family business comprising of my brother, my father and I. For us, knowing where our food's from, how it was acquired is one of the most fundamental parts of our lives.
And that's really how it was for most of humankind until fairly recently. And so basically, Eat Wild was born from this way of life and this understanding of shooting and fishing and sort of interacting and engaging as a family. So to start with, we started off, selling a bit of what we were harvesting, gathering, shooting, that sort of thingy. Me and Cal put a lot of energy and enthusiasm into it, and what was really, really nice to see was other people's energy and enthusiasm coming out of it at the other end, and that's sort of, where we started to see it paying off.
So many of the people that we were selling our produce to sort of lacked the way into the lifestyle that they sort of saw through this produce. But we believe that by buying sort of through us and by sort of getting on board with the lifestyle, they can actually sort of, get more out of it and try and sort of get more involved with everything that goes with it.
So what we want to do is we want to share our experience and our knowledge that we've learnt. We don't claim to be amazing chefs, we're enthusiastic cooks. So when someone comes to us at a farmer's market, oh, how can I cook my rabbit? We say, share our experiences. And that's what the whole process is about involving and engaging our customers. And, almost like a personal sort of service, there's an interaction there, that's what it's about. If you take a life, or if you, harvest something, gather something, kill something, if you do that, then you've got to, it's
responsible.
Yeah, it's responsible. You're using it. You're trying to use every part of the beast. Trying to use every part of the fish.
Do it properly.
Yeah.
Whatever you're going to do, you're going to train your dog. If you're going to go fly fishing, you're going to go shooting. Do it the best you can. Think about it. Do it properly. Don't do it casually because at the end of the day it might sound a bit hackney, but you are taking someone's life and you owe it to it to do it properly.
What comes with that is also trying to be creative with it. It gives you a great opportunity when, say you end up with a roe, we're talking back in the day, a roe on the kitchen table. It's not very often that you'd end up with half a side of beef on the kitchen table to experiment with, or a whole lamb, So it gives you a great opportunity working with a food source that's available to sort of practice, try new things. So it's fantastic in that sense, and it really gives everything I really know is stuff you pick up and teach yourself.
And then, we went for a walk where there's a few rabbits, and I shot a rabbit sitting in some grass with it, and they ran in and pounced on it, and I don't know, actually, it's the only time I can ever remember you being quiet for more than 1 minute. They were mesmerised that we'd actually managed to get this rabbit.
Over the last couple of years, the hunting ban and all that sort of stuff has had sort of quite a negative effect on field sports. And it's a shame because, with everything you do, there's sometimes a few, people that will ruin it for the majority. And I think the only way that you can go out shooting, fishing, is to make sure that you do it in the most responsible and humane way possible.
So we're up in Leicestershire yesterday, out in the sort of the wind and the rain, having a good go at ferreting. There weren't too many rabbits on the ground. We managed to catch a couple of rabbits, which was perfect because we were planning originally on doing a rabbit ragu in the Italian restaurant in Ashby. Unfortunately, because we were sort of scratching around trying to get it, trying to get rabbit meat. Well, health-wise, obviously, it's really, really low in cholesterol and fat, which is obviously, brilliant. It's like perfect way to plug it, obviously, on the health benefits. But I think it's also a really, really good way of getting people to eat game if you can get past, obviously there's a bit of stigma attached with eating rabbit in the sense that I found with older people, they associate it with after the war and rationing and that sort of thingy. And then younger people, obviously, you've got sort of our generation who are a lot more disassociated with the sort of life and death process, and they think, and when they see a sort of a rabbit, they think fluffy Bugs Bunny. So once you can get people past that, I think it's a really good way to get people eating game, because obviously a very sort of mild flavoured meat, it's not strong and punchy like a sort of bit of red venison. So basically we'll let him cool off a bit, we'll paunch him, have his guts out, clean him out, and then we'll take him back to the restaurant, have his skin off, and then it's literally just a case of sectioning him up, brown him off in the pan with a bit of butter, a bit of garlic, then in he goes with the tomato sauce. We can have a beer, chill out, let it stew, let it all break down nicely, and then we've got a nice rabbit ragout. To start with, we're absolutely bricking it, and I said to Cal, I was like, look, we're both really nervous, but you know, we should both be buzzing about an opportunity where we've been given this opportunity. We should be excited about it, should be buzzing about it, and not like, oh, I don't want to mess it up, I don't want to mess it up. You know, it's an opportunity to just be, you know, this is who we are, this is what we do.
Take it in stride.
Try a bit of game, see what you think, let us know. So we were in Zmani's Italian restaurant in Ashby, where Mr. Zmani had kindly, you know, given us the opportunity. And he'd invited down, you know, some more field sports enthusiasts, game enthusiasts, you know, people that are sort of, you know, it's the whole process, isn't it? Yeah. So shooting something, you're eating it, so, you know, people are the same as us, you know.
Sort of had people sat in there that sort of know their game quite well, which we decided to do a venison carpaccio with. And we trimmed off sort of the sill side bit, black peppercorns, sort of spread it out and rolled the loin in the black peppercorns, and then we rolled it up tight in a piece of cling film. And then that goes in the freezer to chill. So we lifted it out, seal it in a pan, quickly brown it off, brown the ends off, and then that went in an oven, 280, 10 minutes, I think it was, or 15 minutes. Came out, and then you've got to let it chill. We sliced it really thinly, and it made some beautiful carpaccio in the end, and we served that up on a plate, sort of fanned out, lovely fresh olives in the middle, little wedge of lemon, which went really nicely with the peppers, sort of took the kick away a bit. And I think it went down pretty well in the end. And it looked absolutely beautiful on the plate as well. And we served it with some nice fresh bread, a little bit of olive oil on there, and I think that went out with the starter, and that sort of again made it go further. But it's not about sort of, you know, quantity with that. It's all about the quality of the meat.
Savouring a small taste.
Yeah.
So the main we did mixed game meatballs with a ragu and spaghetti, and basically there wasn't any sort of strict method to it, because we were sort of governed by the game that we had. We'd only got our 2 rabbits. We had 4 brace of pheasants, a couple of brace of duck. And then we were left with the trim. Once we'd taken the silver cap off the fillet, you know, there was off the loin. Sorry, there was some sort of the tail end of the loin. Yeah. We sort of chucked that all in together, all through the mincer a couple of times, get it minced up. And obviously the game's really lean, so we had some beef suet in the kitchen. Ran the beef suet through with it a couple of times, so it's nice and sticky, a lot more pliable. Chucked a load of oregano in, chucked a load of chopped parsley in. Good few dollops of garlic in there, plenty of salt and pepper. Big fan of plenty of salt and pepper and garlic.
Bit of bread
got that all through, yeah. Cup of breadcrumbs, stiffened it all up, and then it was just a case of shaping them, flattening them off slightly so they weren't sort of rolling around and breaking in the pan. And we fried those off in a bit of beef dripping, which again gave them a really nice flavour. Went with it really nicely. There was quite a neutral game flavour. It wasn't too punchy and strong. And fried the spaghetti off with a bit of butter, a bit of olive oil. Boom, winner. Nice to be in a professional kitchen in an environment, you know, where you're working with probably one of the nicest head chefs either of us have ever come across.
Absolutely.
Couldn't have been more of a gentleman, absolute dude, happy to help with anything. You know, he's happy to sort of be asked to do bits of our stuff for us.
Honestly, I want one of them here right now while I'm busy. I think the mic's getting in the way a little bit, but yeah, good. Okay with the heat, just about.
And the owner as well.
The owner was an absolute gentleman as well.
And it was nice to meet someone as well that's that passionate about game as
Yeah,
well.
he's absolutely buzzed about it. You know, obviously likes all of his field to fork stuff, using everything that he gets.
You know something, tonight, what got me was how well you managed to do a kitchen, you know. You got here 3:15, and by 7 o'clock you're serving food, and phenomenal. The meatball, I want the recipe, the chef wants the recipe, and it was probably fantastic.
excellent. Doesn't need parmesan. That will detract from the taste. We're trying to pick out the different tastes there of the 3 game meats that are in it, and I think it's very nice.
And you were happy with your meal?
Well, the food was great. It just to show you how versatile game is.
We're very, very enthusiastic cooks. We're by no means chefs,
We're not chefs.
but the beauty of working with game is A, an unusual flavour that a good percentage of the population aren't used to eating, and B, it just sells itself.
It's important that they keep improving, that they keep testing themselves, that they find new challenges, new markets and new opportunities, and by doing that they'll carry on learning as long as they keep their passion.
We need to get it out in sort of bigger outlets, say supermarkets, nice little stores around the country, and hopefully, through people knowing who we are and what we're about, we'll be able to achieve that. They won't, walk past and think, game, I'm not going to try it. Hopefully, we can do it, and we can actually get people to take a second look at our product on the shelf.
Obviously we're aware of being in a situation where people sort of do challenge what we do, but we're also, the flip side to that is the fact that there are people that want to be part of this journey with us, eating ethically, sustainably, locally sourced, healthy foods. There's a really growing market for that. People want to be in touch with what they're eating and aware of where it comes from. 2 young lads are enthusiastic about what we do. Absolutely buzzing about it, working the game, cooking the game, and we want to share that enthusiasm and energy with other people.
I think probably what I'm more proud of them than anything is that they are, and it does sound a bit corny, but they're good blokes. And everyone, a lot of people tell me that they're decent people.
It's maybe a bit of a bold statement to make, but I'd quite like to sort of modernise the game and get people eating it that wouldn't necessarily eat it, which I know that's a big task to do, and there's a lot of stereotypes to be broken down, and actually just getting people to open their minds up a bit and try something new. But I genuinely believe that we can do that.